Hey everybody, welcome to PDQ Live. Today we've got a great show for you. We're talking with Krista about the part 2 of the Personal IT Lab, personalities. We've got Eric McCann with us to talk about SimpleMDM. And first, we're going to be going over some news articles in our What the Tech series, but starting with what's new at PDQ.
What is new?
What is new? Where do we want to start? Do you want to start in what's new in Connect or what's new in Deploy and Inventory?
Let's do Deploy and Inventory because we have a new dashboard in there.
We do.
Both of them.
Yep. So new in PDQ Inventory and Deploy is this dashboard with all kinds of like relevant information quickly at your fingertips and shortcuts to like the most common actions.
You might have to run an update to get it.
You will.
FYI, yeah.
Yes,
I did.
You will have to be on the
Okay,
latest
yes,
version.
you will.
Yep. So there it is for Deploy, and here it is for PDQ Inventory.
It's pretty.
It is pretty.
It is really pretty.
Yeah. Moving on, in Connect, I almost said Detect, but in Connect, it's here. We talked about it, what, 2 weeks ago?
I know. It's almost like they listened to you.
Yep.
Do you think they did?
No.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks ago, we teased some of this, but bulk install for the remote desktop agents here, as well as all of the notify end users settings.
Yep.
So if we want to actually look at those, we can come into, I clicked the wrong button.
Settings. Yep.
I can click onto settings.
What that? Oh,
and I can come to remote desktop, right? And I can set these,
Yep.
you know, hey, notify, and they have to approve. And then it's this global change.
Yep.
Additionally, from the devices tab, I
Click
can
'em
select
all.
devices and I can install the remote desktop agent in bulk.
And it will stay forever.
Yes.
So those are the two things we talked about. And there are some enhancements to the vulnerabilities tab. We already covered those last week. So
We did.
Same thing we just talked about.
So that's the news and the new from PDQ. Now, if we talk about news and new from around the tech space.
Yes, we found some good ones. All right, guess why they did this?
Why?
CrowdStrike. So
Okay. What's the too long didn't read version of this?
Microsoft basically was like, hey, vendors, we don't want to have another CrowdStrike. So we've gone ahead and put some security measures in place so that you dum-dums can't do this to us ever again.
Okay.
Literally, that's exactly what they did. So they talked about this at the Ignite conference. So they've added deployment rings and something called quick machine recovery to make it so that the vendors have to follow protocols for the deployment rings. And then from the IT person's standpoint, you can use the quick machine recovery if you
that's
do
almost
have
like
to restore.
It's like an not necessarily out of band, but sort of out of band. Get in and fix the OS and let it boot.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
actually
not
really
stuck in
like
boot loop.
this. I mean, it might be a pain. I don't know. But I think it's smart of Microsoft.
Yeah, I think it's a great one.
Because it was a bad look for them. Okay, next up. Oh, I hate that ad. Anyway, I think you're going to hate this, but you might not. I don't know. This is also part of the Ignite thing. So $349. It boots up in seconds, Josh. It wakes up instantly.
Neat.
Do you think it does?
It looks like a thin client to me.
It's actually not. I mean, it kind of is. It is kind of, but yeah, it boots. It is a thin client.
So the too long didn't read version is what, like $350.
Yeah.
The Windows 365 link boots up quickly.
Boots up quickly
And lets you run like your Microsoft apps.
Basically, yeah.
So it's a thin client for Microsoft 365 in like the most basic
Pretty much.
verbiage.
With all the ports. That was my favorite thing.
Okay. Suni's new update.
This one I thought our nerd friends would love. PlayStation in the cloud.
I'm curious how this is going to compete with like the Steam Deck. I'm curious, like anyone excited about this? Because I have used the Steam Deck and it works really, really well.
Yeah, so Sony did it last year. It seems like PS5 just following the same thing, yeah?
Yeah. So it launched the cloud streaming on PS5, but now this is like their handheld kind of run with it version, right? Mobile.
What do you think? Would you?
I think it's interesting. I'm not a console gamer, but if I was, I think this is really cool.
I just seriously found this yesterday. It just barely launched, so I'm interested to see if people dig it or not.
Me too.
Okay, next up. This one actually really freaked me out. So this is severed fiber cables, 800 miles worth, actually.
Wow.
So it was in Sweden all the way to Germany. Lithuania, Sweden, Germany who was affected. It was a Ukrainian diver, actually, who they arrested. So here's what's funny about this. Not funny / scary, is they don't have any redundancy because they were like, oh, these fiber cables that are on the ocean floor, they're fine. They're totally fine. Apparently not. I mean, they're this big.
Oh yeah,
right?
they're huge. They're multiple strands. They're shielded. They're all kinds of stuff. So it is kind of scary to think about what that looks like at a larger scale.
Yeah.
Right?
I have an update for you on this story, too.
Oh, yes.
I'd love to
They're
hear.
actually holding a Chinese cargo vessel in the ocean captive. There's a Norwegian or ship that is like sitting there making sure it doesn't go anywhere. They think this was the ship that did it. They can track it. It passed over one cable. 2 minutes later, it went down. They passed over another cable. 2 minutes later, that one went down. So they're like, that's not right.
Well, the thing that's interesting to me is this story, which there's two different instances. This story is like, hey, maybe we should have a satellite redundancy. And I'm like, yeah, you think?
Well, even with satellite redundancy, right? Like the amount of latency that is involved in that type of transmission is like only useful for certain things.
That's
right?
true.
Like imagine if you're doing any kind of like banking or trading,
Yeah.
like those latencies all of a sudden matter a whole lot. And then the available throughput through those is significantly smaller.
Oh.
So I think for like emergency services, yeah, like I'm sure there is like other, but for your large amounts of internet traffic, how are you going to do that?
I don't know. I've never thought of it though. Have you? I mean, you have, but I haven't.
I went on a kind of a deep dive one time on like how they actually lay those cables. It's really cool. That's a fun rabbit hole to kind of dive down into if you're into networking tech.
Which you are.
I'm a little bit, yeah.
Oh, this story kind of freaked me out. Okay, anyway, next up.
Okay, this one's not really like news. This isn't news. This is more just like my shameless plug to try and talk through this of Qualcomm talks to buying Intel, and ARM chips have been in Windows devices for a while now. It's been in Mac, and Mac's able to kind of control that ecosystem, right? Where they can say, hey, we switched to ARM architecture in this M1 chip. You have X amount of time to get on board. They control everything. They can do it. In this Windows world, we've got ARM and Qualcomm chips that are shipping in laptops, right? And it's like that will do a translation to x86, but then it becomes inefficient. And like, then why are you running ARM? So I'm curious how many people in the chat are seeing this in their environment. Are you kind of jumping on board to ARM native? Are you not? Like,
well, I'm interested also because when we were talking about Server 2025, it functions with ARM. So what's the tie in there?
I think the OS, like the OS is there. The OS will do it. It's everyone else's app. Like, will it run? And you'll see the popular stuff, like everything that you can grab that's commoditized, Chrome, Zoom, whatever. It runs on ARM. It's all of those line of business applications. Like, what does the timeline look like for that?
Something is afoot. You just say commoditized. I really like that word, Josh.
Oh, thanks.
Did you say it because Krista's here?
No, but maybe that by her being here,
she made you smarter.
I get like vocabulary boost stats.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I would like to think I have this influence.
Yeah. I put this in here. It's Thanksgiving next week. We're not going to be here. And if you're not making these potatoes, make these potatoes.
Could you make those for me? Because they look delicious.
They are labor intensive, but it's almost equal parts potato to butter. And they're just amazing.
Incredible.
They look delicious.
So I snuck that in there.
Oh my
There
goodness.
you go. Go make those potatoes.
I have a dumb question. Michelin Guide, Michelin stars. Is it really the same company?
Sure is.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
the tire
Thank
company.
you. Unreal.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a way to get people, like, it's worth the drive, it's worth the trip, it's worth the special destination. Go drive your car.
That's
buy
the
more tires.
link?
Yeah.
It's the whole. Sorry. The Michelin. It was a ploy for them, like kind of not necessarily marketing stuff, but it was a way for them to indicate the quality and that, okay, if you get this type of food, it's a connection to the fact that like they have quality tires, right? You go to a Michelin star restaurant.
Unreal.
It's just weird. It's one of those weird things that happens in the world that people come up with an idea and it just takes, and now people have like big kudos. Oh, I'm a Michelin, 3 whatever star.
That's why there's tire shops next to all those restaurants.
Yeah, that's
Now I
why.
get it.
Now you get it. All right, let's take a hard left turn.
Yep.
And joining us is the one and only Eric McCann. Hi, Eric.
Hey guys, how's it
Eric,
going?
what magic do you have to share with us today?
I am here to talk about something that you all love, Apple device management.
Hey, I'm on a Mac. I love it.
Yep.
Tara's on a Mac. Where are your people?
It's a superior product. I'm here to start.
Ooh, that's a hot take. No, that's a hot take.
Oh, Eric wants to fight with the entire chat. Here we go, man.
Let's stay on board.
You're not wrong, but continue.
Hey, any attention is good attention, right?
Yes.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to share my screen real quick. So I'm here to talk about SimpleMDM, if you're not already aware. SimpleMDM is PDQ's Apple device management product. So I've been with SimpleMDM for quite a while now. I'm the product manager here. This is going to be just a high-level overview. We'll have some resources and materials to share with you afterwards if you want to learn more. But I'm here just to show you a little bit about what we can do. So the first thing I'll talk about is just how are you going to get your devices under management. So this is a pretty awesome feature from Apple. So it's called automated enrollment. One of the best things about automated enrollment is that it actually allows you to effectively drop ship a device to an end user, have that device enroll into your MDM immediately as it's booting up and connected to a network. And then you can configure it however you need it to be so that's ready for the user. The first thing I'm going to show you, so when you create an automated enrollment, there's several different settings that you can configure in order to control what that setup experience is like. So in the settings page here, you can see that there are all these different checkboxes. These are basically correspond directly to screens during the setup assistant panes. So if you want to skip something like, for example, Apple Intelligence, we haven't quite figured out what that does yet, so we don't want users to configure it. You just check this box and it will skip it. You can also enable auto advance. So if you don't want the user to, if you want to minimize as much user interaction as possible during that boot up process, you can skip everything, select auto advance, and that user's getting right into their home screen as quick as possible. There are a few others, such as configuring a minimum OS version requirement. If you want to make sure that all of your devices are on the latest OS version during setup, you can do that under the screen here. You can also set other specific versions if you'd like. So it's just for making sure that when a new user is starting out, they're starting out on a version that you want in your environment instead of having to go back and update that device later. We can import these to configure user accounts on devices. Particularly useful is the ability to create what's called an auto admin account. This is typically used as a service account so that if IT needs to get into the device for any reason, they can access it. Very similar to Laps in the Windows world. For this auto admin account, you can also store that password and rotate it from SimpleMDM. The next thing about, so once your device is enrolled in MDM, you can go and look at the inventory. So if we look here, we can see all the information about the device, such as security settings, OS version, serial number, etc. There are several different actions we can take from this screen, such as installing an OS update. We can remotely lock the device, enable disable Bluetooth, activation lock, remote wipe and restart. So super useful if you have devices out in the world that you need to take a quick action on. This gives you the ability to do that. You can also view the installed app inventory, the user accounts that exist on the device, and so on. The next thing I'll talk about is profiles. So profiles are somewhat similar to group policy in the Windows world. The great thing about profiles is you can configure hundreds or thousands of different settings on devices. So just as an example, if we look at the restrictions profile, there are all these different settings that we can enforce on devices. So for example, if we don't want someone to enable or disable Bluetooth, we can disable this setting right here. I won't go through all these today just because there's an enormous number of them, but these are all configurable right within SimpleMDM. lots of important things in here like passcode policies, file vault, forcing recovery lock passwords, configuring Wi-Fi networks, web content filters, and much more. Most notably, this is a recent addition within the past year, is the ability to force a OS software update. So this is a new managed software update profile, uses something called declarative device management, and it'll set a specific time and date that a OS update will be enforced, basically giving the user a countdown until they're forced to update, with the ability to update before that, of course. So very exciting stuff. The next thing I'll talk about is the SimpleMDM shared apps catalog. So this is similar to the package library over in DNI and Connect. So if we go to our catalog here and look under shared apps, we have a long list of applications that we're managing for you, so that instead of having to go find those installers yourself and oftentimes reconfigure them to make sure they install nicely with whatever patch management tool you're using, providing these installers for you. And all you have to do is assign them to your devices. Once you've assigned them to your devices, you can assign them in what we call a self-serve assignment. And give me 1 second to change which screen I'm sharing.
Eric, while you're doing that, a couple things have come up in the chat. The first one's from Bill. He's wondering, like, the auto enrollment is a lot like autopilot, and coming from both worlds. Yeah, that's almost exactly what it is. It's just like autopilot. It's that first time boot up experience. I'm also going to call back to the article that I posted about Windows and ARM. It's probably actually what's happening right here, right? It's vMix, the software you use, is probably running through Rosetta on your Mac. So I'm wondering on the, like, you see that in Apple land right now, like these x86 specific apps now running on ARM. Is that going to happen on, like, we're just going to keep kind of seeing this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So yeah, like the stutter that everyone's seeing here is like, knowing no other information, and we're going to throw a dart and call it running through Rosetta. What do you think?
You
think
know
a
what?
dart's accurate?
I
don't
like
know.
you.
We'll
I
find
like
out.
that. Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
And it looks like we've got the Managed Software Center on the screen, Eric.
Yep.
That looks great. So that's like the
Thank you for-
self-serve. Yeah.
Yes, this is the self-serve. It's called the Managed Software Center. Also, thank you for covering for me as I stumbled through the screen share. Appreciate that.
I got you. I got you.
Great thing about the self-serve, you don't have to decide every single application that the user needs. Instead, you provide an approved list of applications, and the user can go in if they need. The other great thing is that this interface here will notify the user when an update is available with varying levels of urgency based on how much time has passed since the update became available. Users can also go in and uninstall apps if they want to. So very useful. There are lots of different ways this can be used. But yeah, that is the Managed Software Center.
Eric,
Love it.
So
thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it. I think we grabbed all of the questions in chat. But if there's any more, send them our way and we can get them to the SimpleMDM team. Alrighty.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Happy to have you. All right. Here we are to close the loop from last week, right?
The personal IT lab. Yeah. This
All right.
is something I'm so pumped to talk about because my team right now, we're working on this industry report, State of Sysadmin.
Okay.
Tara sends me an article about why is it hard right now to find a job in IT. And there's a quote that really popped out to me in this article about what qualities people are looking for. It says one of the biggest changes in the IT job market is that companies are less interested in college degrees, more likely to be seeking specific hard and soft skills, such as problem solving, critical thinking, communication, and change management. They also want employees who can simply get along with others. And I read that and I was like, rude. But then I sent it to Tara and I said, what do you think? And you were like, yeah.
Yeah. I just lost my train of thought.
Have you seen this? Is this real?
Yes, I have seen this. This is real. Like in an interview, so many times I've seen people that can just crush a technical interview.
Yes.
Where you're like, if I need to go figure out how to do something, this person can like just tell me exactly what I need to do to get there.
Yeah.
But then you start asking some of these questions about like, hey, are you going to be able to operate on a team? Are you going to be able to give and receive feedback?
So hard.
And it just falls apart from there.
Yeah. And this is where I think having some self-awareness can really carry you far.
Yes.
And that's why personality tests, they do have a bad rap because they're oversimplifying who you are.
For sure.
But they can be a useful model to think through your strengths, your weaknesses, and basically how to play nice.
It's like a mirror, right? It's a mirror for yourself. Like, and the reason that they fall apart in these interviews isn't because they can't do it. It's because they're not even cognizant of the shortcoming.
Yes, because if I'm interviewing somebody and I say, when's the time that you have dealt with constructive feedback and how did you handle it?
Yep.
I don't want them to be like, my boss told me this thing, but they were wrong and I was right.
What? You don't want a tech person to tell you they were right? That's weird, Krista.
But the thing is probably from a technical perspective, they were probably actually accurate.
They are. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to go over the personality archetypes and talk about how maybe you can recognize that within yourself and do something about it.
And how that's
Helpful.
worked for you too,
Yes.
and your careers and your
Gotcha.
job titles. So we have this website, 16personalities.com. It's one of the Myers-Briggs surveys you can take. And I pulled up y'all's profiles to look at your strengths and weaknesses. So first, Josh / Kelly.
Okay.
There's a lot of strengths here. I want to hear from you. How have these strengths led you to your role in IT?
I think the biggest two here are rational and curious, right? Like, there's a lot of time in IT specifically where like you just have to rationalize, like most things are causal effects
Yeah.
in IT. Like there's no, it just happened. Like people want to say, oh, this thing just happened. That's not how IT works.
It's not random.
This is what Josh will say. I need more information.
Yeah, I need more information because it's not random, I promise. And it's curious and it's open to new ideas and new ways of doing things. But there's a caveat there, only if it's rational, right? And evidence-based.
Yes.
Like I don't want to be troubleshooting as you're just throwing stuff against the wall unless you have a reason why you might be throwing that thing.
This is what he'll say. You're trying to solve a people problem with IT. We're not doing that. That's what he'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, I do say that often.
And the flip side of this is you also have what some rude people would call weaknesses. And I want to know, how have you navigated these in your career?
These are opportunities for growth. That's what they are.
That's the corporate BS
I think the
version.
biggest one, right? Like I'm in a leadership role.
You are.
And I manage people. And one of my bigger weaknesses is like not giving enough credit to emotion. Like
The weaknesses are the people.
no, it's not. Like
Those stupid people.
there's generally like we're all human. We all have emotion, right?
Yes.
But I'm dismissive. Like that is my default of like, I don't actually need to know that you're upset. Like I want to solve the problem.
Say less. Too much
Take
information.
those yucky feelings elsewhere.
Like, I'm here to solve the problem. No, like that's my default, right? Like I'm here to
Yeah.
solve a problem, and
Yeah.
it like that's really bad. Like, that's
Dismissive
really, really
of emotions.
bad in a leadership role.
I don't find you to be combative, but I'm also combative, so perhaps that's why we get along.
Yeah.
You two are so intimidating, you don't even know. As someone who is a very different personality type from you, it's not that you are even combative. Like for you, it's not about ego, it's about what is right.
Let's scowl at her collectively.
Oh my gosh, it's terrifying. You're terrifying. But you also are the problem solvers who get stuff done.
Yeah,
And so-
but like this was helpful for me. Like the first time that like this helped, it was brought to my attention a lot of times from like very close relationships, right?
Yeah, because like, would you say at the beginning of your career you were aware of these things?
No. No.
So it was actual feedback from other people around you?
It was like I would go home and I would talk about my day at work and I talk about problems and like the people I talked to were like, are you clueless?
Are you? So you are socially clueless?
So you watch their facial expressions change as you're like, and they were the villain and they did this. And your friends are like, oh, I don't know.
Well, what's so funny is Josh is like, his office is the dumping ground for everyone that wants to gossip or get help. And he just sits there like, why are you guys talking to me?
This is like emotionally draining though for me, right? Like to make up for these like default behaviors, it's emotionally draining. So like I go home and I'm like, I'm not physically tired, but some days I'm like emotionally just drained.
Absolutely. So you had a lot of technical strengths, and then you're working to be self-aware about how you communicate with people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah.
Tara, it's your turn
Okay.
to be roasted.
What is it? Yes,
Let's
do
talk
it.
about your strengths.
What are my strengths? I can barely see it. What is it?
Dedicated, strong-willed, direct and honest. I love this one. Enjoy creating order,
Love it.
because I love sending my writers to you, being like, please be our subject matter expert. Help us make sense of this. How have these strengths led you to your career path in IT?
I don't actually think I'm very patient. That's the only thing.
I disagree.
Okay. Yes, I love to create order, and I am a very good organizer. I think, weirdly, in IT, except for this role, I've been in management for the majority of my career. And I think it's the order and the dedicated. I'm a big team player, and I always have been. I agree with the team. I agree with, I'm the opposite of Josh, actually. I like the people component of it. So I like, it's almost like a manipulation a little bit, like a loving manipulation.
I've watched her try to manipulate you in real time.
No,
Sometimes it works, sometimes
not
it
Josh.
doesn't.
No, I look at the team as everyone's strengths and weaknesses and how to career path that person to build a better team, and whose strengths and weaknesses can work cohesively to make a better team.
So you really like that part of it. You
I do.
like the people and the communication. Are you a unicorn? Like, do you think that's typical in the IT space?
I don't think it's typical at all. And I think it's because I came to IT with 20 years of management experience before I even started it. So I had that to lean on. So that's why I think it works for me. And also, and maybe Josh is going to start laughing here, I'm very well aware of my faults. And it's okay for you to go, hey, you're being a beast right now. And I'll go, yeah, okay. I'm not super defensive about that.
Which is huge, to have a boss that's not defensive. So speaking of faults and weaknesses, there's also some that are associated with your personality type, like uncomfortable with change, judgmental,
Totally.
difficulty relaxing.
Totally.
So how have you had to work against these things or be aware of them in your role as an IT manager?
I think this is really important right now, because like, even though you might not be the exact same personality type as Tara, these same weaknesses are shared amongst very common IT personality like archetypes.
Yeah. This actually happened this week. I know when I'm about to be really mean, and I don't want to be that way. This happened this week. I went to Kelly and I'm like, I'm about to do something real bad. Here's what I've already done. I'm going to turn it over to you. And I think that's what a lot of people need to recognize in themselves. And that's how I lead a team. I don't lead this way. And I try to help other people grow that way too. And if I recognize myself in someone, I try to help them.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I lead the opposite of this. But I don't think you can start that way.
Well, I like that. Like, it starts with understanding what your inclination is.
Yes.
And saying, how's this going to work when I'm tackling help desk tickets, or I'm working with an end user? Like, how will they receive this? And then knowing when you're tapped out, like, I like that you went to Kelly. We're like, you got to handle this. Like,
I absolutely
I
did.
got to delegate this. I got to pass this off to you, because
You have to have a good relationship, though.
Yeah.
Do you trust your boss? Do you trust your team? Do you have someone you can go to and go, I made a mistake, help?
And I think that's part of why when people are hiring, they want to look for different styles of communication, different personality types, different sets of strengths and weaknesses. Because if you are all the same, it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah, like it's in the hire, like that's when this really becomes important. Like most everyone in the chat can do the job technically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
But I hear all the time, I'm frustrated. I can't get another job. I can't move up. I can't progress in my career. It's not because you're not technical enough.
Well, Marcel asked a good question. Do ask Kelly what he thinks. Kelly, what do you think? I did that exact same thing.
Honestly, I was just going to type, I try not to think.
No,
No,
I
mean,
did do that.
No, she did. And that's the thing. Tara and I, we've been working together for a while. We've had many conversations. She's aware of, her personality type. And, I'm happy that there's that trust there that you can come talk to me. Yeah, she's a very self-aware individual, which is impressive.
But I'm old. So I don't think younger people typically will arrive there. So it's easier said than done.
I think it takes a mentor. Like I think that's
so
the
too.
biggest takeaway is find a community, find a mentor, a little self like some introspection.
Because that's what helped you, right?
Yeah,
Like you were
100%.
talking about coaching you've had at PDQ from other
100%.
people in IT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay to say, "Oh, I'd be a really bad CTO because I have these shortcomings." I think.
Sure.
But that's not everybody. I think there's lots of fledgling junior sysadmins who are like, "I'm going to be this." I think it's common.
Yeah.
But all right, I think it's time for another hard pivot, right? And we're doing, what is this? It's the show right before Thanksgiving. Let's do some server-side snacks and do PDQ Chopped.
Okay,
Right.
so quickly, I'll explain how this works. A lot of times, IT people very, very busy. You don't have time to, pre-prepare things. You may be on your way driving to Thanksgiving and suddenly realize, oh crap, I have to bring something. So we are providing you ingredients that you could find at just a local convenience store or whatever. So Josh, Tara, and Krista, you all have access to the same ingredients, and what you have to do, you have to either make a main course, an appetizer, or a dessert. We're going to judge you on presentation and taste.
I'm so scared.
Who's tasting this?
Who's tasting it?
Not me.
Well, it depends on who's going to taste this. What
goodness.
direction I take this.
I need to know my audience. Speaking of interpersonal skills,
Yeah.
tell us who the judge will
I
be.
like sugar.
Okay.
What? That's brand new information.
So Drew is
I don't think I'm tasting this.
Drew's the taster.
I'm way too busy back here.
okay. Drew can't do it.
If it's sugar, he's tasting it. Oh my
Voila.
gosh.
No. This is like a terrifying school project. There's spam on this table. Why would you do that to
Oh,
us?
because it's a tradition.
It's turkey spam.
Oh my
Turkey
gosh.
spam, bacon spam. You've got cheese, marshmallows,
Incredible.
pie crust,
Incredible.
whipped cream, pumpkin. If you want that,
Can you open my pumpkin, Kelly?
I'll let Josh.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh, the wheels are turning.
Oh, and you've got Slim Jims.
All right, the wheels are turning. All right, we got this.
All right, we're going to give you probably about 4.5 minutes, maybe less. How many do you think? 3.5 minutes? We don't have
Let's
much.
do 4.
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
You got 4 minutes.
Are we
starting
making
now.
one thing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
To
we
make
have
one
okay.
entry.
All right.
Well, no, you each make one thing. You just decide what you want to make.
Dips
I know
on
what I'm
pie
making.
shell.
On your mark,
Set.
get set, go. Ooh,
You can talk to
Josh was going for the Rice Krispie treats. Ooh, look at that. They're splitting up the whipped cream, going for Oreos on Tara's side. Whoops,
right.
hang on here.
This is the commentary.
So am I supposed to be talking through my decision making here?
Yeah,
we can
got it.
commentate.
we can.
All right.
Oh yes, this is the diabetes round.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Marshmallows.
Yeah, you got the marshmallows. In fact, I know what I'd be making.
Oh, would you?
I do. I'd be I already planned this out, but I don't want to give them any any clues.
No hints.
No hints.
Did anyone use the spam?
No.
No.
No, absolutely
Okay,
not.
so here's the thing. That the reason the spam was key is
I might actually eat
twofold.
this.
One, we have done spam cooking Thanksgiving for many years here.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually make a main dish with that spam. You take that spam out of the can, it's turkey spam, take the Slim Jims, stick them in there for turkey legs, and voila, you have a main dish.
That's an easy answer right
That's
there.
right, man. That one is quick and it's easy, not expensive, minimal prep time.
Those of you who are listening to the chat, you guys should definitely check that out this Thanksgiving if you're not a big chef.
I mean, I hear the whipped cream going.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Brandon.
For those of you guys joining in, we are doing a server-side snacks, which Thanksgiving edition, where we have our contestants trying to make a one of 3 courses, a main dish, a side, or a dessert. Is that correct?
Yeah. You can do main, dessert, or a kind of an appetizer type thing.
With ingredients from a local convenience store.
Yeah, it makes it easy because, you don't have time to worry about making something extravagant for Thanksgiving. And let's be honest, you're going to your in-laws. Do you really want to put in that effort for
This
your
was my
in-laws?
college diet. Way
Exactly.
to go.
So you can pick these ingredients up on your way to
Oh, we have our
Thanksgiving.
first. We have our,
look at that.
I'm not saying it's excellent. I am saying it's done.
All right, Krista, describe what you have created.
this is.
You still got like a minute and 45 seconds, the rest of you.
You know what? I am going to add some fruit. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, okay. She's going to pretty it up a
gonna
little
retcon.
bit. We are going to judge them on presentation and taste because, look, it's got to look appealing for Thanksgiving, right? Or you can't get that Norman Rockwell type photo. So it's got to look good. And, ooh, very nice use of berries there, Krista. I'm impressed. Well done. Well done. I can't see what Tara's been working on, but she's seriously going in. She's concentrating hard.
She's building under the table
I
like
know,
on
it's like
purpose.
in hiding.
And Josh is being
All right, I'm
very...
done.
Oh,
It's done.
Look at
Whoa.
that.
It's done.
Okay.
All right, hold on to it.
All right.
It's melting.
How much time does Tara have?
It is melting now.
Tara still has 40 seconds.
She wins on
40
presentation.
Seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my
Why did I
berries are
even
falling
try?
off. Oh well.
All right. So let's start. Krista, you were done first.
I can't hear them
technically.
because I can't. My mic. I'm in my trapped seat. Darn it.
This is a marshmallow pie.
Okay. Marshmallow pie. Ingredients, real quick. Marshmallow. obviously.
Marshmallows, chocolate pudding, to add substance, heft to it, if you
okay.
will.
Yeah.
An artisanal border of Oreos. A structurally unsound tower of whipped topping that has already collapsed. Maybe save that till you arrive at your in-laws. And then some decorative berries around the top.
That's
So,
beautiful.
This is what I got.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh, what do you have?
Ooh, so I have a puffed rice and marshmallow square
Oh,
Stop the vocabulary for this.
covered with a chocolate hazelnut spread,
Good at this.
followed by a whipped cream and winter berries.
I want you to call it a
Winter
dairy
berries.
emulsion.
Ooh,
There's no
A
emulsion.
foam, if you will.
there wasn't enough time nor the equipment.
That's
It
impressive.
doesn't have to be that. You can just call it that.
Someone do a whip it. Oh boy.
All right, Tara, what do you have?
Are you
my college
effing
diet.
kidding me? She said artisanal, and he said a bunch of words I don't even know what they mean.
But yours is symmetrical. You have that going for you.
I'm just gonna say I have an Oreo pie because Oreos are good, yo. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you got something stuck in there. What is that?
I can't hear him because my earpiece came out.
What did you
What-
put
what
in?
is-
What are the sticks?
They're little sticks. I don't know. I
But they're
clearly
decorative.
don't watch the shows that these guys watch.
They're from the Nutella. They're from the Nutella
oh, the
dipsticks.
Nutella sticks.
Oh, okay.
All right, Drew, do you want to go out and
Yep.
taste
Yep.
these things? See, and crown our
The
winner?
most sugar will be in mine.
Yeah.
The most sugar per bite.
So,
Oh, it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might win on the
You'll be-
sugar per bite there.
I have
know my
pudding.
audience.
It's Drew, the qualified person to do
Oreos,
this test.
pudding,
I mean,
whipped
oh, yes.
cream.
I don't know. He eats bottle caps, so
He
maybe
does.
not.
You guys, there's
He
a
does.
trophy. There's a trophy involved in this.
you're going to
I'm so
have,
excited.
Dun,
Drew, you're getting type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
today.
I'm going to start here because I feel like I can handle this.
Okay.
Oh, he's actually gonna try these?
Of course he's going to try it.
What'd you call it? Winter berry?
Winterberry.
Winterberry
gosh.
crisp. How is it? He's like, it's about what you figured.
I mean, it's a lot of sugar. It's a mouthful.
There is, in fact, a spoon over there. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Pinky up, Drew. Rachel says pinky up.
he's not even he's not even
berries.
done with the
Just the
first
berries.
dish.
Oh my gosh, he's putting his. Okay.
Don't even
Oh,
look at
no.
it. Don't think about it.
I can't. Oh no. Okay.
that is
Oh,
a
my
enormous
gosh.
amount of sugar.
Drew
That's
pre-gamed.
breakfast.
He's good to go.
Breakfast
Pre-game,
for-
did he run
Oh.
laps in the gym?
Oh.
No, he ate bottle caps.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. There you go. 2 down.
Wait,
gonna
what is
come
in the
back.
bottom of yours?
Pudding.
I think it's interesting that
So
you,
much pudding.
Pudding, Oreos, whipped cream. Can you go wrong with that? I don't think so. I don't know.
Sure.
All right.
Did you have Josh's?
I did.
Yeah,
my-
he,
my
he-
was
you
first.
started
he ate
there.
like the whole thing in one bite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can use a napkin. My
Drew.
beard is holding most of it.
The flavor
But
saver.
here's the winners. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, got to get the headphones on.
Yeah, so I can hear what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the layered ability of Josh's
Square.
puffed rice patties, whatever you call that.
Yep.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the symmetrical and then the tower height of Krista's, but for flavor and simplicity, I vote for Tara.
No! Boo! How dare you?
An Oreo with a stick in it.
It was delicious. You can go ahead and hand her that trophy right now.
I'm not a sore
No.
loser
Give
at
it to
all.
me.
I think
Give it to me. Give me the trophy. Yes.
I'm buying you
yes.
gift cards
It
to
should have
Apple.
been
Dun,
mine.
dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna sing to it. Oh yeah.
Well done. Well done.
All righty. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the show today and had fun with us as we, fooled around.
It was a delight.
For PDQ, I'm Josh.
I'm Tara. Thanks, Krista.
Always happy to be here.
And whip it good. Thanks for joining our webcast today. If you like what you've seen, give us a like on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. A little reminder, next week is Thanksgiving here in the US of A. We will be taking the week off, but we will see you back here the following week. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you back here next time.